So Sunday we had, I think it was the New York press conference for Canelo against Bud Crawford. Um, Regardless of what you think of Dana White, as a businessman, I can't fault him because look at what he's done. A lot of people don't like him. Bit of a monopoly the way UFC is run, but I can't say UFC is in a better state or in a worse state than boxing. But the refreshing thing about that being Dana White promoted is the fact that we had a press conference where actually the press got to ask questions. I don't know if they really expected that because there wasn't a lot of what I saw. There was, I think, boxing scene asked some questions, but it didn't seem a lot of people there asking questions. I don't know if the boxing community was actually ready for a press conference where they were going to be allowed to ask questions. So that was a refreshing change. As they do in all the UFC press conferences, the floor is open and Dana will pick people to ask the questions. And there's not a lot Dana won't let you ask. You know, if you don't like the answer, you don't like the answer. So from that degree, that was refreshing to see a press conference at a boxing event, a massive boxing event, where press were allowed to ask questions, which is a refreshing change, which I think boxing misses badly. I think boxing press conferences really, they're just a speech by the promoter, speech by each camp, speech by the fighters. So you don't really learn a great deal from those press conferences other than confrontation between sort of fighters. So that was a really refreshing change. And also to have a true boxing person speak at a press conference as they did with Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman being from that sort of dream team from the HBO years, Jim Lampley and the like. And I believe that Kellerman and Lampley are going to work this event, which if they do and they become sort of a permanent piece on sort of Turk Yellow Shake events, can only be welcome because the old HBO is missed badly by all you lot who are all boxing fans. So that is another great thing if they do come back, which it looks like they are. They're back for this event anyway. I was a little bit surprised. I don't know if you lot were surprised. I think this was New York, like I said, the sort of reception that Bud Crawford got, because there were a fair amount of boos for Crawford, and there was a lot more audible cheers for Canelo Alvarez, which is a bit of a surprise. Bud Crawford, supremely confident, and as you would be. Look at the career he's had. Look at the fighter he is. Supremely confident. Didn't mind throwing it out there to Canelo that he 100% believes he's going to win, as he would do. But yeah, not intimidated by the likes of fighting Canelo or Canelo himself, as you kind of expect. But he's moving up a couple of weight divisions. You thought he might, and it was a funny event where Max Kellerman said that Israel Madridov had given him his toughest fight, and Crawford sort of said, "Really, brother, you think that was tough?" So yeah, which I didn't think it was tough at all. He had a decent time. Yeah, Madrimov gave him some different angles to think about and that, but he never really, I thought Crawford won that sort of clearly and easily. And a lot of people said Crawford didn't look great moving up because he didn't get a stoppage. I thought he looked good. I don't think there's any problem, and I do believe, looking at a lot of footage from Crawford in the gym before he's got the weight off. Crawford's a big dude, and you can guarantee he shifts a shit ton of weight to box where he's boxing at. So I don't think the size will be a good thing. I don't expect him to stop Canelo. I think Canelo's got the best chin in world boxing, or has done over the period of time of his career. But I'm not going to give a prediction yet. But you could say I'm heavily in the Crawford camp. Put it that way. So yeah, did you all see it? And this being on Netflix, they were saying. Kellerman was saying that this will be the most watched fight in boxing history. And the fact that it's on Netflix and it isn't pay-per-view and everyone's got Netflix and this is going to cross over, I think that's not in doubt. And what a change from not having to pay, like we do with DAZN for repeated pay-per-views. I think we've had a month this year where we had 3 in the space of 4 weeks, which is fucking outrageous, really. For the broadcast of the channel that said pay-per-view was dead. So yeah, welcome change, refreshing change. If that's what the partnership with with Dana White has brought, then I'm not really arguing with it at this point. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, press conference was good. I like Kellerman being back. Kellerman and Lampley calling it is going to be fucking great. The press conferences are great, because now moving on with future press conferences for this event, we know that questions are allowed to be asked, and that adds another dimension to press conferences. and the whole event really. So yeah, good times ahead. Anyway, I'll see you all soon.